Welcome back, my little subscribers. Today, I want to talk about why I got the A7S III in 2023. Even though there's 1,000 cameras coming out at us, hitting us left and right, let's talk about it. When you're considering a camera purchase, it's very important to weigh your options, and this one took me a while, on what your uses are. This applies to any camera purchase. What are your uses? What are your options? What do you currently have that you don't use? Because that could be used towards that. So I just want to have a brief conversation about why I think and why I decided on the A7S III for my video purposes. And I've had my channel for a while at this point, and I've used a variety of cameras, some that were for video and some that weren't. They just had the features, they're hybrid cameras, and they've all worked for me in one way or another, and you can make tools work for you. I really believe you can, and we have the technology where a lot of the things we have are flexible. If you don't have funds for a camera, you can use your phone. There's vlogs that I've done with my phone, and there's people that do it with their phone all the time. You don't have to do what everyone does. But in my sense, because I'm a professional photographer, and I do appreciate that next level of image quality, I have had to buy, sell, trade to get what I have right now. So when I was thinking about getting a camera, a more camera focused or more video focused camera, I didn't want to be locked into video. So my use is hybrid. So that right away eliminated a lot of options for me. It was between the older A7S II, which has dropped significantly, the A7S III, which is our current but 3-year-old model now. We have the ZVE1, the ZVE10, we have the FX30, the FX3, and again, I'm talking about the Sony world because that's what I'm invested in. When you look at those options, the moment you say, I want a hybrid camera, you kind of eliminate everything that didn't have an EVF. And that was something that I had to work through because at first I was like, maybe I can get away with not having an EVF. But the reality is, if I want this tool for my use to be hybrid and use it for all kinds of work, I value the hybrid aspect of having the EVF and the touch screen that flips out. So that immediately removed the FX3, the FX30, the ZVE10, ZVE1, and left me here. I still feel like after evaluating like image samples from other YouTubers and their thoughts, it is cool that we're getting a lot of those new video focused cameras with all those cool cinema features, or like the integrated mics like the ZVE1, the compact sizing. But at the end of the day, I think those were made more for people who just want to do video versus someone who wants to do both. So I wish that there were a little bit more options in the Sony world for that. And I know you can use a lot of the other cameras for video, don't get me wrong. The A7C, 4K up to 4K 30, 1080 up to 120. The A7 IV, which I do have and I have used for videos, 4K 60, 1080 to 120, same thing. That could have done the job, but I think I also valued the light sensitivity that is known from the A7S series, as well as the functionality that comes with when you're using S-Log3. So those base ISOs, and you get into those technical things where you start weighing your options, and the A7 III just made more sense to me. But I was really close to considering trying out an FX30, FX3, the S-Log3 422, being able to shoot at 4K 120 when I need to, that 12 megapixel sensor with awesome low light sensitivity, it just ended up being the best option for me. And I feel like a lot of you out there may be looking for a hybrid option, and I would say A lot of others are also agreeing that the A7S III is still a really good camera. And this comes into play with all these new ones coming at us, like A7C II, the CR, the other ones I mentioned. We get all these new technologies, new functions. It gets hard to decide what you really need and what is actually works for you. And this is a 3-year-old camera, but like I said, it still works. You've got the awesome autofocus, you've got the awesome video features. You've got to decide for yourself when you're getting a new piece of gear if you don't have to get the newest stuff. If you can get something older, you can get something pre-owned and get significant savings. That is an awesome way to get a good deal and still get the product you want out. I just wanted to bring up that brief conversation of, and it goes back to my other videos talking about we don't need the newest stuff. We don't have to be chasing the newest stuff all the time. The technology that's in a lot of these cameras that are now considered old, that are 2 to 3 years old now, that is technology that we didn't even have 10 years ago, 15 years ago. The cameras were nowhere at the level they are now with all the features that you can get in one camera. So it's pretty amazing. If you're a person who's just looking for video and nothing else, I do think the ZVE1 is a great option to the A7S III, or even like a ZVE10. I do remember testing that one out. Unfortunately, I didn't make a video. I didn't keep it long enough. But there are options for everyone. It's just you do have to be smart. And with the market options, be very smart on where you invest your money. So just a quick video reflecting on how I go by the process of picking something. It may be different for you. Like for example, this has 2 card slots. ZVE1 doesn't. That could be a deal breaker for you. EVF, like I said, could be a deal breaker. The moment you say, I want an EVF and those really neat video functions, you remove a lot of things. So you have to go through that kind of decision tree process to make up your mind on what to invest in. And then in the real world, once you try something out and use it, and you want to master it, you know, not just because something new came out means you're going to automatically get to this crazy level of award-winning video and imagery. Sometimes it could be the case. A lot of times it's not. A lot of times it's about learning how to use the tools you have and getting the results you want with your skills, honing your skills, learning from others. So I'll talk about that more in other videos. Like I want to talk about S-Log3, which has, you know, as a self-taught video and photo maker, like these are things that are hard to learn yourself. You'll watch hundreds of videos and you'll get pieces here and pieces there of what you need until you understand it and in real world use actually get it. So I do want to talk about those things and how to learn that things, little tricks and tips on those type of things. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It's just a quick reflection. Let me know down below, when you're considering a camera purchase, like what do you consider is important? How do you narrow down how do you narrow down your options? Thinking about your budget, thinking about how well you know the tool, all that sort of thing. Thanks for watching.